Oh, for crying out loud, where is it? God, I know I should look for the bloody thing before the lights went out. Then again, how was I supposed to know that the bloody lights were gonna go out? God, it's been 3 weeks since there's been this bloody room Roger's... Ah! I think I found the control panel. Alright, now just got to fix it like a professional. There we go. Solved like a pro. Oh hey! Hi, how you doing? Me? Well, besides the fact that I've been locked in here for the past 3 weeks and finished my last ration, meaning the sprinkle can, I can't complain much. Ow. You know, ever since Roderick took the key with him to God knows where, I've had a lot of time to think in order to prevent myself from going crazy with insanity. Oh! Sorry, that happens at times. And I've managed to come to the conclusion that Roger's kind of a douche, isn't he? But that had me thinking of another encounter I had. I was on the bus one day with a mate, talking about the soon-to-be Dark Souls 3, when this guy, out of nowhere, comes behind us and says,
"Video games, what a pathetic waste of time."
Haven't seen him since, funny enough. But that also got me thinking. Yes, I had a lot of time to think, alright? Where video games aren't useless to my eyes, the same can't be said for some of his characters. Now, I'm not talking about NPCs with just one line of dialogue that makes no sense, like the famous "I am" error. No, I'm talking about the characters that you meet very often, and yet, when you recall your adventure, you can't seem to remember what they actually did to help you. Whether they're a waste of space, or worse, a burden, these are the people who, despite trying their best, at times, they accomplish next to nothing. So, while we wait for someone to notice my disappearance, how about we count down the top 10 most useless characters? Now keep in mind that this list is entirely my opinion, and that I haven't played every single game out there. Hell, I haven't even played every single console out there. So if you see a character that you believe should be on this list but isn't, then by all means, leave your own top 10 in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you have to say. Now the rules are, only one character per franchise, or else some games will just dominate this list, and no unknown NPCs like those you come across in villages or RPGs, because that's just cheating. Let's not waste any time. Not that I'm going anywhere. Let's get started. The Elder Scrolls are massive games, with open world action-adventure, intricate stories, and more characters than in Lost. Now, I've only played the 5th installment, Skyrim, so I can't really speak on Morrowind or Oblivion's behalf. But one thing I do know is that with such a huge world, you're bound to have some useless characters littered here and there. But for me, Delphine takes the cake. For being so involved in the story, this lady really doesn't have much to her. She was part of the Blades, an organization whose main objective is to find and protect the Dragonborn so that he can accomplish his destiny of protecting the world from dragons. And as luck would have it, that would be yours truly. Now you'd think she would be a follower who swears her loyalty to you and escorts you through the land so you don't get eaten alive by giant spiders. But in reality, she's basically the equivalent of the map from Dora the Explorer.
I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map. I'm the map!
Her role comes down to exposition, go here. Exposition, go here. Exposition, go here. Exposition, do you see the pattern here? She accompanies you maybe once or twice, yes, but not to make sure that you're safe. Nah, it's more to check on my discoveries or to see if I'm truly the Dragonborn. Lady, I shout people to death. How much more proof do you need? She can clearly hold her own and wants to know what the hell is going on here. So, why not come with me and actually see what the hell is going on here? Delphine, can she do it? Yes, she can. But she'll send you to do it rather than do it herself. And you want me to kill Partonax. That is inexcusable! Sidekicks are helpful. Allies are helpful. So, by that logic, that makes Hunter my enemy, because he is clearly not helpful. Hunter from Spyro 2 and Spyro 3 is Spyro's supposed best friend, and usually joins Spyro on his journey to find orbs, dragon eggs, dragonfly. Nope! Nope! That game does not exist. Why do I say supposed best friend? I mean, he does collect at least 40% of the orbs and eggs in Spyro 2 and 3. Only problem, you have to do his chores just for him to give you the damn things. Collect monkeys, calibrate his plane, beat the Rhinox at skating, training his manta ray. Why do I need to train your manta ray? Why do you even have a manta ray? He even tries to steal a dragon egg to keep it as a pet. What is wrong with your brain? You live with dragons. If they see you with an egg, they will roast you on the spot. Get your priorities straight, lad. Hunter, you have a wizard trying to enslave your world and a giant blue lizard who wants to crush all the babies. I think your plane can wait a little while longer. He can be helpful from time to time due to the fact that he does find some of the eggs, and we even see him save a couple, but that doesn't change the fact that instead of carrying some of the weight, he ends up being the middleman that could easily be cut out. Also, he falls for this.
Come on, nobody came to capture me, right?
Don't worry, Quark. Your spot is right here on this list. Captain Quark is a weird specimen. He's a so-called superhero that has saved the galaxy many a time before, and everyone reveres as one of the greatest heroes to have ever lived. Even Ratchet looked up to this guy. That is, until we actually meet him, and we see how disappointing he really is. Glossing over the fact that he basically sold himself to a money-hungry entrepreneur who's going to burn Ratchet's homeworld to the ground, and tried to create and sell a dangerous pet bent on eating people, Captain Quark's triumphs can be counted on one hand. But his failures? Sheesh, I don't think I have enough limbs to count those. Between being so lazy he sends Ratchet to do all the dirty work, and being such a scaredy cat he runs away at the first hint of danger, that would already be bad enough for the so-called hero of the galaxy. But he also shows he has no moral backbone. He will abandon his comrades the first chance he gets, and even fake his own death just so he doesn't have to get up and fight again. And with all that, he has the gall to boast and try to take command. Dude, you're lucky you're not rotting in jail somewhere for attempted mass murder. You may want to pipe down a bit. He may help Ratchet once in a while, only to steal the glory afterwards, but that doesn't change the fact that Quark is an idiotic, bumbling buffoon who should spend more time testing out the crotchetizer. The Legend of Zelda is one of the most beloved franchises in the world and is home to many, many characters. Now, I know what you're thinking. Legend of Zelda? Oh, it's a given. That spot's going to Navi, right? Or even Fi. Well, not exactly. While Navi can get on everyone's nerves going,
Hey, listen!
Without her, Link wouldn't have the Z targeting, which helps out quite a bit. And Fi? Well, I've never played Skyward Sword, so I don't know that much about her. At least she tells you when your rear mode is out of power? Does that count? I know that counts. No, for me, this spot goes to another flying, rambling creature in Ocarina of Time. Kippur Gabora, the owl. This bird is supposedly the reincarnation of an all-powerful sage. But if he really was, you'd think he'd be able to help Link out a little more during his quest. Instead, all he does is ramble. And ramble, and ramble, and ramble, and ramble, and oh my god, will you shut up already? At least, at the very least, you can choose to ignore Navi. But this big bird is scoping for you, making sure you hear every single word he has to say.
What was that noise?
And for what? To explain how a hub world works? Hey, come on. I've played Mario 64. We've all played Mario 64. We know how hub world works, okay? I don't need to replace it on my Christmas dinner, wasting my time, and oh my god, you're still talking. Oh, and he tells you that a great fairy lives in this place, but is secretly hidden. Where could she be? I don't know. Where could she be? Come on, Blue's Clues hit hints better than you did. God, who remembers Blue's Clues? Man, good times. He does have a bit of a bigger role in Majora's Mask, but wherever he is, be it past, present, or future, this owl will always ramble, and oh my god, he's still talking! When one thinks of people with knowledge in video games, one would think of two types of characters. Old men, having lived a very long time, their wisdom is greater than the heroes. Or scientists, who know all the scientific mumbo-jumbo stuff to help you get through the game. You would think that a combination of an old man and a scientist would be the smartest being ever and super helpful to boot, right? But instead, we have Professor Oak. If you look up incompetence in the dictionary, you won't find any definitions. Instead, all you see is a picture of Professor Oak's ugly mug. This guy can't seem to do anything right. First off, you are a renowned scientist across the regions. Everyone looks up to you with so much respect, they call you the Pokemon Professor. Well, if you really are the Pokemon Professor, then why is your goddamn Pokédex empty? That is the foundation of all your research. How can you have nothing? He's been in the job for 60 years. You'd think he'd at least have the information on the Pidgey that's literally across the street. Second of all, you were so sure that there were only 150 Pokemon. No more, no less. Now, I can't forgive you for missing the one Mew. Anyone could have made that mistake. It's a legend. You don't believe that kind of mumbo jumbo. What I can't forgive you for is forgetting the 570 other Pokemon. What, did you just not think to check the other regions? You thought Kanto was the only one with electric mice? You went to Johto! You must have at least looked at a Hoot and realized, oh crap, there's more, better fix that. Why exactly are we trusting this guy with the future of Pokemon research? 60 years he's been in the business and he has nothing to show for it. I mean, for Christ's sake, he can't even remember his grandson's name, and that's his only living relative. How could no one see this train wreck coming? Aerith from Final Fantasy VII is a... Which one of you just shot my video? Okay, that's traumatizing. Listen, before anyone loses their rocker, let me explain my reasoning. Final Fantasy VII is a legendary game, and one that we even hear about to this day. Widely considered to be the best RPG ever created, it has managed to unite millions of people with joy and newfound love for RPGs. And boxes of tissues, due to one scene in particular. Now, there is literally no way you could have survived this long on the internet to even find me and not hear about this. But just in case, there will be spoilers for Final Fantasy VII. Are you ready? Aerith was a beloved character, considered by many to be Cloud's shipmate. She joined them on their quest and became an adventurer like the others. Then she took a sword to the back. This left kids and adults across the world baffled. It was the first time ever in an RPG that a playable member of the party, and such a huge one as that, was killed off. And she was dead. No ponytail this time, she's down for good. This scene has gone down in history as the most shocking, heartbreaking, and tear-jerking scene in video game history. But that was 18 years ago. Cut back to present day, and everyone knows about this scene. With the internet talking about it non-stop, top 10 saddest moments list putting it #1 every time, there's no hiding from it. Everyone and their grandmother knows about this scene. That's how viral it is. So, I have to beg the question. If you know she's going to die, why bother using her? Why bother grinding her up, giving her equipment, if you know she's going to die and all your hard work will be lost? Well, it's simple. You don't. No one would put effort into using a character and wasting EXP on them if they knew she was going to croak it later. They might as well put into someone else and save time, which renders Aerith useless. She's just in the party to be in the party. Never used, never played. She just sits on the sidelines and waits for everyone else to finish the battle. And can you blame us for doing that? We know her fate. The internet has made it very clear. So, why bother? The reason she isn't higher on this list is because I don't exactly know how prominent her role is in the main story, but what I do know is that when I had her in my party, I just left her on the side and kept on using the others, because why bother? And I'm not the only one who thinks this. Forums all over the internet debate whether she's worth the effort or not. I'm sorry, love. Even with all your hard work, you just couldn't make the cut. Or stab in this case. Kids are stupid. Probably shouldn't say that in a YouTube video. Let me rephrase that. Video game kids are stupid. All they are is the deadweights that slow down the group or get in the way every 2 seconds. That's why in a zombie apocalypse, you want to keep the kids far, far away from anything important. Or anything in general. If not, you get Duck and Sarah. I seriously wonder if these kids will just lobotomized for them to be so stupid. It truly is a work of art. Their existence, their mere existence, is more dangerous than a horde of hungry zombies. Why? Because not only do these brats always manage to get in danger, but they put others in danger as well. Oh look, a tractor! Let me turn it on, making noise that attracts zombies, move it forward to render this person who helped me over, trapping him under the weight of the machine, then sit here like a complete idiot waiting for the zombies to come grab me like a free sample at a supermarket, then force the hero to choose who to save, except not really because I'll always survive, and the useful guy will always get devoured. I'm smart! Oh, what's that? There's a horde of zombies outside, the same who killed and ate my dad right in front of my eyes, and you're risking your life to come and save me? Nah, I'm just gonna sit here and cry about how life sucks for a bit, putting all your lives in jeopardy for no reason, only due to my soul's stupidity. I'm smart! And don't you dare use the "but they're just kids" excuse on me. You know who else is just a kid? Goddamn Clementine, and without her, half of these people would be serving as aperitifs to the zombies. These two have absolutely no reason for being so useless when Clementine can save everyone at the tip of a hat. I mean, for God's sake, Sarah can't even cut a plant! A freaking plant! If I was with them in the zombie apocalypse, I already know who I'm using for bait. At least you won't have to do much. Bon appétit, mes amis! Alright, hands up all those who knew this one was coming. Yep, I thought as much. Princess Peach is legendary at this point for being the damsel in distress. She's been kidnapped so many times it's almost comical. If we look over all the Mario games, from NES to Wii U, including handheld, she has been kidnapped 24 times. 24! How do you get kidnapped that many times? 18 of which are by the same freaking turtle. Seriously, Peach. When you get kidnapped by armless mushrooms the size of your foot, a green dwarf with a vacuum on his head and his pig lackey, and you have to wait for your freaking plumber to come and rescue you 24 times, you may want to hire other guards than the most annoying mushrooms in the universe. Now, why isn't she number one? Why is someone that has been kidnapped so many times even she doesn't care about anymore not at the top of this list? Well, this is the most useless characters list, and as hard as it is to believe it, she has been useful. She's helped Mario on his adventures in the past and even saved him at one point. In Mario 2 and 3D World, she's super OP with a little Mary Poppins shtick, and she can do this. Though that does beg the question why she doesn't do that more often. You know, to defend herself. But the next two. Oh, the next two. Let's not waste any time. Crank their confidence meter to maximum because here are your champions. It is a gentleman's duty to come in the need of a damsel in distress, and Professor Layton knows that full well. After all, he is the perfect gentleman. But Herschel, honey, I'm sure Flora can count as an exception. No one would mind. It's one thing for danger to claim a person. It's another to actively seek out danger and be in peril just for someone to save you. And that's what Flora does on a daily basis. She has been in 3 Professor Layton games, and she was in peril all 3 times. Now, in the first game, she didn't ask for anything, but in the other 2 adventures, she went behind Professor's back and followed him incognito, or just straight up followed them. She even scolded them for leaving her behind, saying, "You just think I'll get in the way." What was your first clue? The fact that I got kidnapped, or the fact that I got kidnapped twice? It's not that at all. Yes! Yes it is! All she does is get in the way! She contributes nothing else to the plot. Oh, she solves a puzzle here and there. Big whoop. Luke has gone up against armed goons, and is usually one of the main reasons why the professor can solve his bloody mysteries. Flora, on the other hand, she sleeps in a haystack half the game. Congrats, girlfriend! And what was it she said earlier? Okay, fair enough. Let's see what little Flora can do then, shall we? Nice going, sweet cheeks. You're not even trying to fight back! Kick, scream, bite! Do anything besides just standing there like an idiot! Oh my god, a potted plant would fight back more than you do! You aren't being tied up and held by the juggernaut, you're being dragged away by a kid barely older than you! Just pull the other way and wait for the others to punch the living daylight out of him! Just to be clear, if she put up a fight in this scene, everyone would have stopped Clyde and he wouldn't have been able to get into his doomsday device. So, technically speaking, all of London's destruction can be pinned on her inaptitude of basic instinct. Flora, why are you even here? I mean, you do make good cucumber sandwiches. You may have noticed a certain pattern with the last entrance. They're all useless, obviously. They always get kidnapped or in trouble, and in the worst case scenario, they're the ones who went looking for it. So what's worse than kids getting in trouble all the time? What's worse than a princess getting kidnapped all the time? What's worse than a little girl getting kidnapped all the time? Well, I'll tell you. A full-grown man with a sword, shield, full-plated armor, combat experience, getting kidnapped all the time. Number 1 is Ostrava of goddamn Boletaria. This guy, oh lord, where do I even begin with this guy? So, Ostrava is the Prince of Boletaria. Sadly, Boletaria is now a place of ruin, death, and decay, so he's kind of the Prince of nothing right now. Nevertheless, he seeks to reclaim his kingdom from the forces of darkness and yada yada yada, get the picture. Only problem, Ostrava is bloody incompetent. Being a prince, you would think that he would have some training in the art of combat, some experience when it comes to fighting, a slither of knowledge in the battling department. But honestly, he must have as much fighting experience as Flora does. This guy is always either in peril or captured. It never fails. Every time you see him, he's either locked away, trapped in a dead end with monsters, or just standing somewhere up high from monsters like a high schooler who just saw a mouse. In fact, I think mice would be more dangerous than the zombies he's hiding from. Look at these things. How is this a threat to you? We're literally wearing the same armor. At least try a bit, will ya? And I'm not joking when I say that every time you see him, he's in some sort of danger. 3 times you see him, 3 times he's down for the count. You'd think after the first time he'd get the message. But you want to know what the cherry on the cake is with this guy? Once you've saved him from himself all 3 times, you see him once more before the final boss. As a spectre. Yep, the idiot actually got himself killed.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
No, I take that back. He doesn't get killed, he kills himself. Yeah, after seeing the state of his kingdom, the guy pulls a hissy fit and jumps off the cliff. So not only is he dead weight, not only is he an armed dude in distress, he becomes an enemy. After everything I've done for him, he tries to kill me. That's gratitude for ya. And you want to know what the whipped cream on the cherry on top of this cake is? That is a delicious cake, I will enjoy eating that. It's that, in order to get any use out of Ostrava of Boletaria, you have to kill him. Yep, for him to be of any use, you have to end his life. In order to unlock the door to a secret boss who gives you some of the best equipment in Demon Souls, you need to kill Ostrava before reaching the 4th section of Boletaria, where you fight Ostrava's Spectre. So that means that his only use, his one and only use, is to die. If that isn't a useless character, then I don't know what is. And those are my top 10 most useless characters in video games. I do hope you enjoyed it, and...
Hey Classy, I'm back.
It's so beautiful!
Yeah, sorry about that. Just had to stock up a bit. Didn't want to run out of games to review.
Huh? Oh, god damn it.